All right, so Audit the Audit did the Kyle video, and I'm going to watch it and react to it now. Link to the original video and link to his channel will be down below in the video description. Go check him out, show him some love. Dude does incredible work, and he breaks it down by the letter of the law. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to say. So let's check it out.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers citizens' arrests, water rights, and property damage, and is brought to us by Justin Royal's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve.
That right there means a lot to me. Be sure to check out his channel and give them the credit that they deserve. So this video has been reused, recycled, reposted, stolen, and re-uploaded countless times, and rarely, if ever, have I been given credit. So shout outs to Audit the Audit for doing it the right way.
Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Straight Arrow News. Staying up to date on everything going on in the world can feel super overwhelming, and for good reason. Trust in mainstream media is at an all-time low. That's why I've been using Straight
Ain't that the truth?
Arrow News to follow the stories I care about. It offers huge insights into the media landscape surrounding a particular story by showing you which mainstream outlets are covering a story and where they fall on the political spectrum. Straight Arrow News is on a mission to objectively report the news without bias, filter, or spin, and offer its users a means to be truly informed about what matters most to them.
That is something that we need desperately, is just give me the facts, okay? Don't give me your own spin on it. Just tell me the information and let me make up my own opinion.
Not uncommon to see two major media organizations covering the same event with completely different takes on what happened. And with media literacy becoming more difficult to obtain and less valued by society, it's more important than ever to stay informed. Straight Arrow News is raising the bar on journalism in a time where it is more difficult than ever to get accurate information. When you use Straight Arrow News, you're not only supporting this channel, you're also supporting a group of journalists that are focused on serving you the truth. Head on over to san.com/audit or click on my link in the description to start your bias-free news journey today. Thanks again to Straight Arrow News for sponsoring today's episode. On June 20th, 2021, YouTube fisherman Justin Royal was fishing from his boat near a private marina on Lake Travis near Austin, Texas.
2021. It's been a minute.
When an employee of the marina told Mr. Royal that he could not fish there.
Hey, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy. So something I'm going to do as we go through here, if you guys are familiar with Audit the Audit, he gives grades at the end. I'm going to grade myself. Every time I do something that I feel I should have done differently, I'm going to lower my grade. So we'll roll through this and see what grade he gives me, and then we'll see what grade I give myself.
Can't fish in the swift. Oh, is that a fact?
I'm gonna have to make a deduction right there off the bat. What I should have done was just ignore this cat. Yeah, so we just dropped from an A+ to an A right there.
Is that a fact? I didn't hit anything. No, you didn't.
So that right there, accusing me of hitting the boats, it was a blatant lie. First of all, this is like the first or second slip. You can see there's plenty of room there. I didn't even get close to a boat. So he was just trying to rile me up, and it almost worked.
Somebody that owns the lake? I fish here all the time. I didn't touch the boat. Have a good one.
I probably should have just left it at that. Have a good one.
Mr. Royal disagreed and continued to fish from his boat until another marina employee approached on a golf cart.
Hey man, there's no fishing around here. Okay. Yep. Cool. Thanks. Yep. Have a good day.
I approve. That's how I should have handled it.
Hey, I don't want to say it again. You can say it all you want to, buddy.
At this point, I'm just tired of being bothered, and I'm starting to feel a slight increase in blood pressure and adrenaline. And did I let it get the best of me in this moment? Yeah, I probably should have just said okay and continued to ignore the cat, but, you know.
Say it all you want. Say it all you want. What am I doing if there's no fishing here? What am I doing right now? Fishing. That's right, I'm fishing. I'm gonna keep fishing too. Have a good day. Man.
I'm following my rules and my boss's rules.
Listen.
And my Marina rules.
Listen.
You're not following any rules.
Have a good day, brother, but don't curse at me.
I'll cut your line if you want. This was where I was about done right here. And yeah, absolutely ridiculous. But still, I don't think I handled that the best, and I probably should have remained calmer. I feel like I kept my cool overall, but I should have remained calmer. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it down from an A to an A minus there. We're losing points fast, but I wish I hadn't gone back so hard at Kyle. I let him get me a little worked up right there, admittedly, and I shouldn't have.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you? Go right ahead, buddy. You're on camera, just so you know. Call the cops. Call them up, man. This is public water. You can't come down here and run me off.
Well, I'm just doing what I'm told.
Well, whoever told you wrong. This is public water. I'm not on your marina. I'm not touching your property. Have a good day. Call me in. Oh, I'm out here just fishing, minding my own. You're the one that rolled up on me. Your job to what? Enforce the public water? This is public water. You can't enforce. All right. Have a good day, man.
Smart Alec.
Mr. Royal argues that the marina employee doesn't have the authority to enforce a no fishing policy in public water.
I could be a little bit of a smart Alec too. Let's be honest.
It is unclear whether the marina employee is a security guard, but regardless of his status, he would only have the legal authority as a private citizen to enforce the law in certain circumstances. Under Article 14.01 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, quote, a peace officer or any other person may, without a warrant, arrest an offender when the offense is committed in his presence or within his view, if the offense is one classed as a felony or as an offense against the public peace. An arrest conducted by a private individual under this article is commonly referred to as a citizen's arrest. In the 2005 case of Andaverde versus State, the First District Court of Appeals of Texas clarified that, quote, an act is against the public peace when there is actual or threatened violence.
I love it that he breaks it down like this and goes by the book, no BS, and an actual or threatened violence. I don't believe that took place.
Where means which cause disquiet and disorder and which threaten danger and disaster to the community are used, it amounts to a breach of the peace, although no actual personal violence is employed. Similarly, in the 2017 case of Cataldo versus State, the Ninth District Court of Appeals of Texas stated that, quote, a citizen may make a warrantless arrest of a person who commits a misdemeanor within the citizen's presence or view if the evidence shows that the person's conduct poses a threat of continuing violence or harm to himself or the public.
Wouldn't it have been hilarious if they tried to citizens arrest me? Not really, but that would have been wild. Citizens arrest.
Whether the circumstances constitute a breach of the peace will be determined on a case-by-case basis, looking to the facts and circumstances surrounding the act. Assuming for a moment that Mr. Royal was violating the law by trespassing on the marina's property, as the Texas Attorney General explained in opinion number DM-363, which was issued in 1995, quote, criminal trespass is classed as either a Class A or a Class B misdemeanor, and thus is not classed as a felony.
However, I was not trespassing. That was public water, as I'm sure the gentleman here will break down for us eventually in this video. You know, whoever was running the show down there that day, Kyle's boss, just doing what he was told. I don't fault the kid, but as soon as he called me an asshole, started threatening to cut my line, and acting like he was going to call the cops, it was like, I couldn't believe what was happening. I'd fished that marina so many times, and I just was in disbelief that they were taking it this far. Got a little worked up, Wish I'd kept my cool, but let's keep rolling.
Nor is criminal trespass in and of itself a breach of the peace. We will discuss the legality of fishing in the marina later in this episode, but even if Mr. Royal was violating the law, the marina employee would not have the authority to arrest him unless he breached the peace. And Mr. Royal's actions clearly did not constitute a breach of the peace.
Clearly, they did not. I'm here to keep the peace, man. I don't want no trouble with nobody. I've been accused so many times of just going here, fishing this marina in an attempt to start trouble and get views on the internet. That couldn't be further from the truth. That's just not how I operate. This was not fun to me. I would never do something like this just to get a bunch of YouTube views. My video blew up. It went super viral, has tens of millions of views. Going viral doesn't really, it's not really, there's no real value in it other than a little boost in the algorithm and a little boost in your subscriber count from people that aren't even really fans of yours. You know, it's not genuine interaction. It's not long-lasting interaction. And I would never go get into an altercation and ruin my day fishing just to get a spicy video for YouTube. It's just not how my brain works, not how my mind works. As you can see, I'm loaded up with fishing gear. I'm out there trying to catch some fish. That's it.
As there was no violence or threat of violence involved.
There's a guy down here fishing. There's a guy down here fishing public water. Hurry. Call him up. Oh, this should be interesting. He said he's gonna cut my line. There's another one. Yes. They're still down there too.
I was cracking them up under there, man. I was cracking them. It was a good time. I kind of taunted Kyle here in a second. Don't know that I should have done that either. I might have to bump myself down another.
That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah, dude. We still smacking them. Tempted to throw this one in the live well.
Throwing a divine swim jig. There, by the way, from 6th Sense. 6th Sense divine swim jig. Best swim jig on the planet.
Let them know, hey, good fishing around your marina.
Catch and release.
You missed it, Kyle. I just cracked one right under there, man. You missed it, bro.
Okay. Well, you one of the $100,000 boats or the...
I'm not touching anybody's property, man. Have a good day. I really hope your day gets better, brother.
You hit the dock or anything?
Oh man, I'm so worried, man. Have a good day, brother. Watch out who you calling asshole though.
All right, this is where I start to lose it right here. I'm gonna have to deduct myself for sure. We're down to a B+ now from an A- because I should have just let him roll off, but you know, I was a little worked up and wanted to let the kid know, hey, you might want to watch out because there's some roughnecks out there on the lake and you could pop off to the wrong person and they'll smash their boat right into that dock, jump up there and throw his little ass into the lake. So I was trying to save him some future trouble, giving him a little friendly advice, maybe not so friendly advice, but I should have kept my mouth shut right there. So we're down to a B+.
Somebody might just hop on land and give you what for. You go around calling random people asshole on the lake, all right? Have a good day, brother.
Ask the champ, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? After you run in here now.
I'm right here, buddy. I'm right here, buddy. Bye.
Yeah, that was all bad.
Hey, what's going on, boss? How you doing?
All right, so this is the moment where I see the police officer for the first time and my adrenaline shoots through the roof and yeah, you're gonna see.
You get anything. Man, I cracked a few right under that marina over there. There's probably about 50 of them straight loaded. Oh, I know they called you. Yeah, a couple of these boys come down here pissed.
Yeah, and that's just doing their job.
I understand, but you know, they come up and call me an asshole.
Yeah, we don't want that. But I come over here to de-escalate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Let you know. We don't mind fishing here because it's public.
After the marina employee calls the police, an officer responds and informs Mr. Royal that he can fish in the water because it's public. Under section 61.022 of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Code, quote, "No person may hunt or catch by any means or method a wildlife resource at any time and at any place unless the owner of the land, submerged land, or water, or the owner's agent consents." However, as the Supreme Court of Texas described in the 1932 case of State versus Bradford, quote, "The rule long has been established that the state is the owner of the soil underlying the navigable waters, such as navigable streams, as defined by statute, lakes, bays, inlets, and other areas within tide water limits within its borders." Under section 11.021 of the Texas Water Code, quote, "The water of the ordinary flow, underflow, and tides of every flowing river, natural stream, and lake is the property of the state."
There you go. I was on public water. Property of the state. I pay for my fishing license. I register my boat in the state of Texas so that I can go out and legally fish. Beautiful Lake Travis, Texas. And Kyle was trying to shut me down, man. I wasn't having it.
And as section 11.0235 of the Water Code explains, quote, "The waters of the state are held in trust for the public." In other words, if the state owns the water, the public has a right to use it, regardless of who owns the surrounding land. According to the Texas Parks and Wildlife River Guide, quote, "Typically the small natural lakes in Texas are held to be non-navigable, and therefore subject to private ownership and control. The public has no right to boat, fish, or hunt in or on the waters of private lakes." Yet, the River Guide also states that, quote, "When a navigable stream is dammed, the resulting lake is a public lake, and the public may boat and fish on all of the lake's waters."
Mansfield Dam.
To this end, the Supreme Court of Texas held in the 1935 case of Diversion Lake Club versus Heath that, quote, "The creation of a lake by the construction of a dam across a statutory navigable stream does not change the character of the water from public to private, and did not take away the right of the public to fish therein."
The right of the public to fish therein. Shout outs to Audit the Audit for doing an incredible job on this breakdown. You guys go show him some love and send this video from him to Kyle.
According to the Texas State Historical Association, Lake Travis is an artificial lake on the Colorado River that was created by damming a crossing on the river known as Marshall Ford in 1942. For this reason, the 3rd District Court of Appeals of Texas concluded in the 2005 case of Cummins versus Travis County Water District that, quote, "As with all navigable bodies of water within Texas, the state owns the beds and waters of Lake Travis. Therefore, despite the private ownership of the marina, Mr. Royal was well within his rights to fish from his boat on public waters."
Well within my right. Nice. I knew that already, but it's good to see it reiterated on such an educational platform. Audit the Audit, 2.83 million subscribers.
But sure, just don't make sure you hit those lures on these.
Absolutely.
Some of these boats, 300.
No, sure, yeah. You got some money up in here, and I absolutely have nothing but utter respect for everybody's property. I wouldn't want anybody hitting my boat.
Yeah.
I'm a boat owner,
And I
so
told
I
him,
understand. This is how these interactions should go right here.
Always establish dominance. No, seriously. So, I knew the spiel I was about to get. He couldn't shut me down from fishing, but he was about to give me the old rigmarole about don't hit the property. And, sort of in a way, you're going to see here in a second, he kind of takes up for the kid, which is fine. But, I kind of talk over the cop a little bit here because I wasn't having it. I was confident that I was in the right in this situation, and I just wanted that to be known because you never know. Shout outs to Officer Luke, by the way. This dude was awesome. He was super cool. De-escalation. I like that, but yeah, I wasn't gonna sit around and listen to somebody tell me, don't do this, don't do that, when I wasn't doing this or that, and I had no intention of harming anyone's property.
Oh, 100%.
The way they rolled up on me, and I got it all on camera. I run multiple cameras all day long. That's what I do. So I know I'm in the right. You need to teach them boys how to approach somebody, and you'll get a whole lot further.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but no, I'm not here trying to call.
I was a little fired up, but it's true. They need to tell them, the law and what they can and can't tell people and try to enforce. But You know, who's down here having to talk to the cops? Me, for going bass fishing.
Cause trouble, man. I'm trying to catch a couple fish.
You got an expensive boat yourself.
Yes, sir. So I understand. I haven't hit one of these boats, and I wouldn't hit one of these boats.
So we just want to let you know we're here to work with y'all, and I know you're enjoying your.
What's your name?
I'm Luke.
Luke, I'm Justin. It's good to meet you, Luke. I appreciate you coming out here and talking to me like a man, because I'm a man, and that's how it gets
Been
through
doing
to
this a
me.
long time, my career.
Yeah, these boys are a little green.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
They'll learn.
I'm not mad at them. They'll learn.
I might have been a little mad. I'm tapering off, you know. I used to be a little less stoic, less calm. I've gotten a little older and a little wiser since I shot this video, and I would have handled the situation differently. You know, deduct a few points from myself, drop myself down to a B+ so far, because I feel like I should have just kept my mouth shut for the most part. But overall, I'm doing okay.
Let me tell you, they have such responsibility at their age.
Sure, they're doing their job, but their job is not to enforce public water law.
They have so much responsibility at their age. Cool. What's that got to do with running me off the water?
So I know the law.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with an angler who fishes every day. So
Gotcha. And that's what we're here for in law enforcement. So
good deal. Yeah.
you got it. So we just like to come in and say hello, number one. Number two, just try to let you know, and you know the rules.
Sure.
Better than I do on the water.
Absolutely. And I don't intend on breaking any of them.
Don't touch these things.
No, sir.
Okay.
Not at all.
We're good.
Just don't touch these things. They just want to make sure I wasn't going to ding up the cobalt.
Good.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm throwing a 3/8 ounce swim jig. 3/8 of an ounce.
Good if y'all are good. I mean, I'm just fishing.
Officer Luke reminds Mr. Royal that although he is free to fish in the water, he must avoid hitting the boats in the marina while he does so. Under Section 28.04 of the Texas Penal Code, quote, a person commits an offense if, without the effective consent of the owner, he recklessly damages or destroys property of the owner. According to...
Recklessly. Was I behaving recklessly? I don't believe so, but let's find out.
Section 6.03 of the Texas Penal Code, quote, a person acts recklessly with respect to the result of his conduct when he is aware of but consciously disregards a substantial and unjustifiable risk that the result will occur. Additionally, Section 28.03 of the Texas Penal Code, which defines the crime of criminal mischief, states that, quote, a person commits an offense if, without the effective consent of the owner, he intentionally or knowingly damages or destroys the tangible property of the owner.
I would never do that.
Section 6.03 explains that, quote, a person acts intentionally with respect to a result of his conduct when it is his conscious objective or desire to cause the result. A person acts knowingly when he is aware that his conduct is reasonably certain to cause the result. While recklessly damaging property is a misdemeanor offense, criminal mischief can be prosecuted as a misdemeanor or felony depending on the so-called amount of pecuniary loss, which Section 28.06 of the Texas Penal Code defines as, quote, the cost of repairing or restoring the damaged property within a reasonable time after the damage occurred.
If I did happen to accidentally damage somebody's boat with my 3/8 of 1 ounce swim jig that was attached to a piece of plastisol, I would absolutely own up to it, take responsibility, and do whatever I had to do to make the repair and to make it right to the owner. Simple as that.
However, if the property is destroyed rather than simply damaged, the amount of pecuniary loss is either, quote, the fair market value of the property at the time and place of the destruction, or, if the fair market value of the property cannot be ascertained, the cost of replacing the property within a reasonable time after the destruction. If Mr. Royal was convicted of either of these offenses for damaging a boat in the marina, he could be required to pay restitution to the boat's owner under Article 42.037.
I just watched another video before I started filming this from a boat accident where one guy in a boat hit another boat and then he fled the scene, and they were talking about him paying restitution. So Coincidence.
The Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, which states that, quote, in addition to any fine authorized by law, the court that sentences a defendant convicted of an offense may order the defendant to make restitution to any victim of the offense. If the offense results in damage to or loss or destruction of property of a victim of the offense, the court may order the defendant to pay an amount equal to the greater of the value of the property on the date of the damage, loss, or destruction, or the value of the property on the date of sentencing. However, it is important to bear in mind that in order to be held criminally liable for any damage caused, Mr. Royal would need to hit a boat intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly, and he could not be convicted of a crime based on a bona fide accident.
Nice. I didn't do any of those things, didn't even come close to doing any of those things, but you guys already know that. Also, want to make a comment that I get all the time is on the trolling motor and how I'm controlling the boat. Some people don't even know what's going on and they're trying to figure out how it's driving it on its own. And then some people have also commented on like the impeccable trolling motor control. I don't know if it's impeccable, but yeah, we kept the boat off the dock that day for sure, under pressure.
I appreciate it, Luke.
I talked to him too. You know,
Yeah, man, just hey, dude, you catch a hawk?
I don't want that job. So
Yeah, no, yeah. I remember how I was when I was 18, but man,
I was an idiot. I was a complete idiot, and I probably would have, made a similar mistake, or could have very well made a similar mistake when I was young and dumb. So, no hard feelings to old Kyle over there at the marina. Wonder if he still works there.
just, they come up on me hot as hell, and I'm not doing nothing wrong.
and he admitted, he said, I probably should have.
Good deal. He's already learning a little
I
bit
said,
there.
good, but let me.
And man, if you could just tell him, man, that old boy down there ain't got a lick of hard feelings towards him.
Yeah.
I hope that the next time
My country comes out a little bit sometimes when I start, connecting with an old boy. I ain't got a lick of sense, what it sounds like, old son. But yeah, no hard feelings to Kyle, man. I would shake his hand.
they see me down here, we can have a positive interaction. I'll shake his hand. I'll shake your hand.
All right, enjoy your day.
Happy Father's Day, man. Take care.
After a cordial conclusion to his conversation with Officer Luke, Mr. Royal continued to fish from his boat without further incident. At one point, one of the Marina employees who confronted Mr. Royal returned to the dock to assist some patrons, but he refused to make eye contact or engage in conversation with Mr. Royal, despite Mr. Royal's professed desire to end the encounter on a positive note.
I really did want to just say, hey, man, no hard feelings. I apologize for getting heated at you. And I just wanted to end it peacefully. That was genuine. Even if I do get worked up, I still would like a resolution. Resolve is better than going home and simmering and stewing and, all that kind of stuff, man. Keep the peace. That's the best way.
Overall, Officer Luke gets an A+ for
Agree.
engaging in respectful dialogue with Mr. Royal, demonstrating a clear understanding of Texas water rights laws, and taking steps to help the Marina employees better understand the law. Throughout his conversation with Mr. Royal, Officer Luke demonstrated a commendable level of professionalism and empathy for
Commendable.
both Mr. Royal and the Marina employees. Instead of expressing anger or frustration at being employees better understand the law. Throughout his conversation with Mr. Royal, Officer Luke demonstrated a commendable level of professionalism and empathy for both Mr. Royal and the Marina employees. Instead of expressing anger or frustration at being unnecessarily called to the Marina, Officer Luke used the situation as an opportunity to build rapport with Mr. Royal and educate the employees to prevent future misunderstandings and negative interactions with citizens using the public waters. The Texas Water Code is convoluted and confusing, and Officer Luke expressed empathy for the inexperienced marina workers who misunderstood the boundaries of the private marina while also informing them of their mistake.
He did. He expressed empathy both for myself and the marina workers rather. And I think honestly, it didn't take him long to get down there. And I believe that Luke was hired by the marina to conduct security operations down there, perhaps, I don't know, as security or maybe overtime. I know sometimes, you can pay sheriffs to be present and they'll work overtime to be in a certain area that maybe wouldn't have been patrolled. I think that there maybe is something like that going on. I think he was there working with the marina And if that's the case, he did an even better job. I agree. You know, Luke gets an A+. He was awesome, even with me being jittery, worked up, with my adrenaline up, talking over him. He did great. And that was like, you know, that interaction was awesome. It went just how you could hope it to go. Shout out to Luke.
I commend Officer Luke for his patience and kindness, and for turning what could have been an unpleasant situation into a positive interaction for all parties involved.
I, too, commend Officer Luke. Shout outs to you if you're watching. Nice work.
Mr. Royal gets an A, because although he was somewhat antagonistic in his conversations with the Marina employees, he maintained a reasonably calm demeanor, understood his right to fish on public waters under Texas law, and refused to allow those rights to be violated. Less experienced or educated fishermen may have surrendered and left upon hearing the Marina workers' mistaken assertions that fishing was not permitted.
So I got an A. I'll take it. I'll take the A. Thank you, Audit the Audit, for giving me an A. I give myself a B+. I had to knock myself down a peg or two because I don't necessarily think that I would handle that situation exactly the same were it to happen to me today. I would remain quiet and probably just say okay and ignore until it was impossible to ignore. But I will take the A humbly, gratefully, graciously. Thank you for the A grade. I'm a straight A student if I want to be, but most of the time I was like skipping school and doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I could get an A if I actually studied, no problem.
Instead, Mr. Royal stood firmly in his rights and refused to leave because he knew he did not have to. It is clear from an A, because although he was somewhat antagonistic in his conversations with the Marina employees,
I was somewhat antagonistic. I wanted to listen to that again. Yeah, I did kind of antagonize him and rile him up a little bit. I got riled up, and it was, you know, I was in that mode of, you know, they're messing with me, I'm going to mess with them. That was wrong. Shouldn't have done that.
He maintained a reasonably calm demeanor, understood his right to fish on public waters under Texas law, and refused to allow those rights to be violated. Less experienced or educated fishermen may have surrendered and left upon hearing the Marina workers' mistaken assertions that
no defeat, no surrender.
Fishing was not permitted. Instead, Mr. Royal stood firmly in his rights and refused to leave because he knew he did not have to. It is clear from Mr. Royal's conversation with Officer Luke that he held no ill will towards the Marina workers, despite their inaccurate understanding of the law and use of name-calling.
And I still don't. It's all good. No hard feelings. Got nothing but love.
Ultimately, just like Officer Luke, Mr. Royal demonstrated a desire for the employees to learn from their mistakes and improve future experiences at the Marina for all citizens, while also expressing empathy and forgiving them for their missteps. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below.
Awesome. You guys let me know how you think I handled it. What grade would you give me? I'm going to give myself a B+, you know. I think I did all right. Slightly antagonistic, but well aware of my rights and expressed no ill will towards the Marina workers. And that is still the case. Shout outs to Kyle. Shout outs to the Marina owners. Luke, Audit the Audit. You guys make sure you go check out Audit the Audit. But yeah, that's my little reaction. A grade. I'll take it.